Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence. Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video finds you well. And in today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at another 2020 release. This one by the company Christian Siriano is called Oula Rouge. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin the video, I just want to say that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews, top lists, giveaways, unboxings, interviews, pretty much anything related to fragrances, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you got to do is click that button in the corner, and this way, whenever I do upload future fragrance-related videos, they will get delivered straight to your feed. So please make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell as well. So 2020 is upon us. We're already halfway done with the year. It's kind of hard to imagine that we're towards the tail end of July now. I'm really not sure when I'm going to publish this video, but here we have a fragrance by Christian Siriano, not his first, and this is a fashion designer, and this fragrance is called Oula Rouge. Now, I just want to mention that if you are interested in purchasing this fragrance, you may do so at soavantgarde.com. They are a fantastic company to deal with. I've actually used them several times in the past as well. And I do want to disclose that this bottle was sent to me for review by the company. This is not a sponsored post. And again, all opinions will remain my own. So I do have another fragrance from Christian Siriano that I have reviewed in the past. And I do actually quite enjoy that fragrance. And I like how it was very unique, very original, and it really stood out to me. I don't think it pushed any boundaries. It certainly wasn't the most challenging fragrance or anything like that. And that's good, I think. You know, a lot of times when you are stepping into the industry, the perfume industry, you don't necessarily want to put out something that's going to disenchant your audience. And I think that Christian Siriano is really doing a fantastic job so far. In the case with this fragrance, there is an elephant in the room that I do want to address. So it is in a red bottle and it has rouge in the name. I think a lot of people's minds will automatically go somewhere with that. And so does this one smell like Baccarat Rouge, especially when you take a look at a note breakdown that has notes like saffron and jasmine and resins? So I'm gonna let you know what I think about that in just a little bit, but let's start with the presentation. So here's the box for Oula Rouge. It just has this sort of floral print on it. It looks really cool, actually. I like the presentation for this one. Eau de Parfum is the concentration you're going to get here, and it also does come with red lip gloss, which I gave to my mother. I hope she uses it. And on the bottom is where you will find more information, including the concentration, the UPC, and the lot number all the way towards the bottom. And on the back is where you will find the ingredients. And here's the bottle for this one. It has this gradient going from black at the bottom to this bright red crimson color towards the top, and you do have this floral cap, which I think is a pretty good allusion to the notes that are used in here, which include tuberose, gardenia, and star jasmine. The cap for this fragrance does click into place very securely, so you can pick it up from the cap. And I don't know if you can tell, but you have Oula Rouge written on the collar. You will find all of your pertinent information on the bottom of the bottle on top of a sticker. And the distribution on the atomizer is a little bit narrow, but it gets the job done. Let's continue with the smell. Now, as soon as the smell, so as soon as this fragrance opens up, I'm sorry, it's just I'm smelling this, and a couple of things. I do want to address something that I said earlier, right? So I said, does this fragrance have any resemblance to Baccarat Rouge 540? I know I didn't say the name Baccarat Rouge 540, but with a red bottle, rouge in the name, and it also has notes like jasmine and resins and saffron and a lot of notes that are found in Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Baccarat Rouge 540. Does this fragrance smell like Baccarat Rouge 540? Yes, but not entirely. So here's the thing. This has a lot of the same ingredients in there, granted. And it does have rouge in the name. It is in a red bottle. And as soon as you spray it, you are gonna get this sort of green, oak mossy, ethyl vanillin thing that's going on in here with the ISOE Super. And will it remind you of Baccarat Rouge? Yes, it will, but just in the opening. If you give this fragrance a chance to dry down, maybe give it like 5 to 10 minutes, what you are going to get is the redeeming factor of this fragrance that I really think, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the part of the fragrance that I enjoyed the most. Not the opening, because the opening I think is a little bit too similar to Baccarat Rouge. And if I had to make a comparison, I would say it's probably a little bit closer to the extrait version because of the saffron that's in there. But I think that this one, once you give it a chance to dry down, the jasmine really starts to come out. And it has a lot of floral ingredients in here. It has the star jasmine, it has gardenia, which is a fantasy note in perfumes, but it also has tuberose. And what I think you're gonna get primarily with this fragrance is, or predominantly I should say, is this sort of twist on Baccarat Rouge with an emphasis on these really bright and natural smelling florals that are used in here. And I personally love the introduction of the tuberose, but also the amplification of that jasmine that's used in there. I just think it smells really, really good. So I've mentioned this on my channel before, I'm not the biggest fan of certain floral notes. And I think some of the ones that I tend to shy away from are like ylang ylang or freesia or any overly sharp or heady florals. But the jasmine that's used in here is not indolic, so it doesn't have that barnyard quality that a lot of people would typically associate with jasmine. It just has this very natural, sort of organic, floral bouquet sort of a vibe that, I gotta be honest with you, I really, really, really enjoy. I think there are a lot of fragrances out there that have this Baccarat Rouge feel to it. There is Burberry Her. There's also Ariana Grande Cloud, which is a little bit more on that cotton candy vibe, if I can be honest. But in terms of a fragrance with that DNA, that Rouge DNA, let's call it, right? A fragrance with that Rouge DNA that actually does things differently. I think this one is a very, very good fragrance, and I'm happy that I own this fragrance. Being as though we're in the heart of summer now, like I said, I'm filming this video towards the tail end of July. Being that we're in the heart of summer, if I want something that has a nice sort of offshoot or a springboard to sort of deviate from that Rouge DNA, this is the type of fragrance that I'm gonna go with. Because if I want a fragrance to smell like Baccarat Rouge, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm gonna go with Baccarat Rouge. But if I want a fragrance that I feel like it does things differently enough, but in such a pleasant way and in a way that really caters to the fragrance sentiments of summer, I really think that this is the fragrance for that. And I would say if you can find a way to get yourself a sample of it, I really think this is a fragrance that is worth your time. And I think that this is a really nice and pleasant sort of deviation from that Rouge DNA while utilizing ingredients that might be found in the original, but they're just done differently to the sense that it is a breath of fresh air. And so it is different enough that, in my opinion, it warrants a purchase. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I can tell there is definitely an influence of Baccarat Rouge in here, everything from the color of the bottle to the name to the note breakdown. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for something that has more of a floral touch to it, and it has more of that floral component that is brought to the fore, as opposed to that ethyl vanillin and green cotton candy thing, candy floss thing going on in Baccarat Rouge, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by this one. And I do get that really natural, non-indolic jasmine that's found in here, which I actually kind of like. So I do enjoy this one for that reason. So the uniqueness, perhaps not the most unique fragrance out there, but the overall smell, I think it's going to cater to a lot of people's tastes. Longevity on this one, I got about 7 hours on my skin. Projection was good for the first 2 hours of application, but it didn't really become a skin scent up until about that 5.5 to 6 hour mark. Versatility on this one, I think this is the type of fragrance that I would be inclined to wear in the spring and fall, just because it isn't the loudest fragrance out there, but it isn't the most subtle fragrance either. I think had it been a little bit fresher, I would love to wear this one in the daytime, in the summer. I do think this one is really good for the summer, but I think this one is probably the type of fragrance that you would be inclined to wear on a summer night, just because of that resinous sweetness that's found in here. But autumn, fantastic time to wear this one, if I can be honest with you. I think this one does give off a formal vibe. I think if you can afford this one, and I think the price is pretty affordable, you can wear this one casually as well. And I think that this one is perfectly unisex. It can be worn by both men and women, which is also a thing to be said for the initial release of the Christian Siriano brand. In terms of the presentation, I think it's kind of cool. I do like the presentation. It looks like a red dress. And my final verdict on this fragrance is, I think this is a great fragrance. If you are looking for a fragrance that has that rouge DNA, but something that has this really nice and natural floral smell to it, and you're a fan of the note of jasmine, but you don't want that indolic barnyard quality about it, definitely check this one out. I think this one is a very pleasant twist, and I think that you will be a fan of this one. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my review of Baccarat Rouge by Christian Siriano. If you own or have tried this fragrance, I would love to know what you think. Go ahead and leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos. And of course, that includes fragrance reviews just like this, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, special guests, interviews, and a whole lot more. Thanks again for watching. I love you all. We'll see you soon. Bye.